just kind of explain the thought process on letting it ride?
Yeah, multiple reasons. In transition, I thought we had a chance to get an open three. I mean, numbers were going the other way. Traditionally, they foul up three. I thought we'd get the best opportunity. I thought CB was open when he caught it to shoot it. And then obviously off the offensive rebound, my first instinct was to call timeout, but the ball came to Nicola. And I did not think we could get him a good catch if they're going to foul. And if I call the timeout, then we have none left after that. So it's a tough situation. When you get runouts like that, a lot of times in our league with guys falling down and the numbers, you can find a three that way. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Looking back, if I watch the film, watch the tape, I have to see what the situation was. On CB's catch, once he didn't shoot it, I could have called it. Maybe that's the one thing I'll look back on, wondering, maybe I should have called it there.
Coach, when you look at it got to be a physical game at different points. Did you think that affected Nicola? He uncharacteristically 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Did that play a part in it, or did you feel like the way that game was unfolding, that was the way they were playing, defended him, and the game was being called affected him?
Maybe. I thought their defensive rotations were good. We had to look back at our spacing. I didn't think our spacing, on the backside was good enough to take advantage of them bringing 3-4 people across the court. If they're going to do that, we have to find the open man on the weak side and take advantage of it. I didn't think we did that enough. And they zoned up the backside. Kawhi made a big play at the end, getting a steal. So, again, you look back at the tape. They made adjustments. We have to do the same thing, make sure we get him in space properly. We had a lot of good looks, too, and you can't miss 8 free throws in games like this. That was a killer. And, obviously, the points off turnovers, just like in Game 1, we won that battle, and tonight they won that battle. And, games like this that grind – and the possessions are so tough, those easy baskets going the other way are such a killer. We had the loose ball turnover towards the end. Just seemed like every time we got back in it, tied it, took the lead, a multitude of mistakes would follow that. And once you have momentum, you can't have mistakes like that, get them right back to where they were before, up 3, up 5, up 6. Just felt like it was uphill all night.
What did you see from Kawhi tonight?
He was incredible. It was one of those things, too. He had 39, and shot the ball so efficiently, but they only scored 105 points. And so it was a tough, if we come and get him and Norman gets going, you're rotating to James now in a closeout. And so you're playing a tough game there, because if you make a decision to go hit him, you are saying, open shots are somewhere. But to his credit, over contested hands, made some incredible shots. We know what he is. He's an all-time player. But another thing, we have to watch the film and say, hey, how can we do better? We can do better than that. But to his credit, I give, he was awesome tonight.
Your take on MPJ and his physical nature and going to the boards?
Yeah, he was better tonight. And he hit a huge 3 to tie it. We were trying to sneak him back out after the timeout play. Obviously Michael really stretches the floor in the way that they were guarding, bringing 3 and 4 people to one side of the court. We have to find a way to make Mike an impact player in those situations if they're willing to leave and rotate, and we can do better. Looking at the tape, I thought we did a better job in Game 1, and in Game 2 they made adjustments, and we have to look at it and find a way to make Mike an impactful player if that's how they're going to guard.
David, how much does it hurt just losing home court advantage, leaving here 1-1 instead of 2-0?
I thought this series would be like this. Both really good teams. We both, throughout the season, had ups and downs, but now we're both healthy and going at it. I know how good of a team they are, and I think we can go down there and win. I really do. And this series always felt like it was going to be like this. Both games were such a grind. I'm sure they're sitting there saying we should have won Game 1, and we'll probably watch a tape and go, man, we had a chance to win Game 2. And so that's what it's going to be like. And we have to bring our focus, be connected, take the day tomorrow to get mentally right, physically right, prepare, fly to LA, and get a win.
DA, on your right here, I know it might be nitpicking, and he went 4 of 8 from 3, but is Joker passing up threes that you maybe wish he would take instead of getting into the action that way?
Yeah, we'll watch the tape with him. I think sometimes when he drives and kicks, it leads to easy baskets, wide open looks from 3 for other people. And to their credit, when he drove it, they did a good job of bringing people, but also zoning up passing lanes. And, he's a professional, as professional as it gets in our league. So he'll watch the tape just like we do. And if he feels like to win the next game, he's got to take more shots. I know he will. But again, he had a triple-double. It was it flipped the script. Kawhi had 7 mistakes last game. Nikola did this game with all the different defenses being thrown at both players. So we'll help him, see the tape so he can play in space better and make the decisions he wants to make.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, what went into your decision to play Nikola the entire second half?
Yeah, we started the fourth, and I asked him, how he was feeling. The original plan was to play in the first couple minutes of the fourth, first 2 or 3 minutes, get him out to finish. But we made a run, and the intensity was high, and it felt like that group had a lot to give, rest defensively. And it was the same thing with Christian. I brought Christian in later than I wanted to, but that group was rolling a little bit, and then Mike came in for Peyton and, made an impact offensively. So it just didn't feel right to take him out. Obviously, there's communication going on with him. Where you at? How you feeling? Same thing with Aaron, running in that whole quarter. So it just felt like that kind of game, man. Like we had a chance right there. I didn't want to take him out. They go on a 6-0 run. Now I'm calling timeout. I got 1 left with 6 minutes to go. So it just was a feel thing for me.
Coach, do you feel now that you've seen them twice, the Clippers, and know what they can present, does it make it a little bit easier in a way for the game 3 that you know some of their strategies and know how to prepare for them?
Yeah, for sure. And I think on the flip side of that is, hey, what worked in game 1 didn't work in game 2 for us in certain ways. And we have to take a look at that and not necessarily change everything, but just do it better. So everybody, across the board, stay connected, watch the film. We have 2 days to prepare for a big game, game 3. So, yeah, I think both teams will feel like that. We've both seen a lot of things we're trying to accomplish out there. But, man, I just have extreme confidence in the group. And like I've been saying, since I took over this thing, just stay connected, ups and downs. We're going to see a lot of different things in the playoffs. This is a high level series, and we knew that coming in, and I'm excited for game 3.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.